guys, welcome back to my channel. I loved my Dior, or still love, my Dior Airflash foundation so much that I thought that why stay content, I should definitely try a new foundation. That's just how I am, and that's why I love makeup, because it's fun to try, test, compare, and not be complacent, at least in one area of my life, right? So anyway, I decided to pick up the Dior Skin Forever Undercover foundation. I believe this is their newest one, and it's a water-based, high pigment formula. I've seen reviews come up on my profile, but I haven't watched any because I don't know why. I just haven't been into Dior foundations, but since this one is so good, I am now curious to try more. They did not have the same shade that I could tell, the 321. I went with Linen, which is number 021. It's very yellow, but I believe, it will be more brightening, perhaps, maybe not. It's the color that's closest match to my skin. So let's read about it a little bit. Oh, there's really very little information. Okay. Dior Skin Forever Undercover reinvents full coverage with an ultra fluid foundation that offers the perfect mix of extreme correction and a surprisingly weightless feel. Its fresh, water-based texture forms a film so incredibly comfortable and exceptionally fine, you forget it's even there, from morning until night. With a high concentration of correcting pigments, it delivers a flawless, semi-matte finish and conceals imperfections for 24 hours. Should I sleep in it? And as I'm reading this, I'm realizing that I need to have an eye exam, because I used to be able to read so easily these type of this size print, and now I am struggling, as you could probably tell. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. I've already done my primer. I've used the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. That's my go-to lately. And of course, my Garnier Brightening, whatever it is, under my eyes. And I'm going to use a beauty blender. Should I do half and half? I mean, it's just like a miracle that I'm using this. So let me think about it as I shake this. It doesn't say to shake it. Is there even directions? Oh, I have to scan the code for more application tips. Well, who needs tips? Let's just make mistakes and figure it out that way. Okay, I went ahead and decided to look it up on my phone to see if I could find some more application tips, because I don't even know what I would scan, like with what app, but I'm gonna go ahead and read to you what it says on the Nordstrom website. Even though I bought it at Sephora, I just want to be like, distribute my love. It says how to use. Begin by priming your face to create a smooth base to improve the hold and coverage of your foundation. Apply Undercover foundation with your fingers, your back for the attack, or a foundation brush for full coverage. So this is not saying anything about a sponge. So what should I do? Should I do sponge and brush and ignore what it's saying? No, I won't. And so what I'm gonna do is I'll do half of my face with my fingers. They're so happy. And the other half with my Artis brush. Just gonna dot it on and then blend it out. It feels really nice. Very smooth. I was a little worried, and I still am, but when it's described having like a film, I have to read that part again. The way they described it as have like a layer, it kind of reminded me of some of the foundations I haven't liked that had that feeling, as it was described anyway. Like the Skin Feels Good by Lancome had that feeling to me, and the Marc Jacobs, the new one in the squeezy tube, had that feeling like a film that was like on my face. I don't feel that. Now if it does do what it says, without feeling that way, I could like it. Okay, so very, very easy to work with. It's surprisingly thin for being a full coverage. Is it full? Full coverage. I mean, this is not going to be full coverage to somebody who is using like, I don't know. This is, I would say, probably more medium to most people. For me, it's, I mean, I can still see a little peekage of what's happening underneath, but definitely it's medium and probably buildable. Okay, now I will go in with my brush, and I just feel like I waste product when I use brushes and sponges, so oops, that was a lot. Going with this. I do like this brush a lot. I feel like it's more sheer, definitely more sheer with the brush, the first layer. I actually like how that looks. Definitely, for me, maybe it's my technique, the way I am applying it with a brush. It's definitely more, not, I wouldn't say sheer, but not as full as when I use my fingers. Don't kill me. Okay, I feel like it's looking a little bit light. A little bit light and yellow, but I suspect it will warm up to a good shade. I do think anything darker would have been too risky to possibly oxidize to more orange. So I'm glad I got this color. Oops, I'm just going over it now with a brush, at least the perimeters. I think we have an idea of how it looks. I think it's pretty. I'm gonna zoom you in, okay? I don't have an app to do that yet. Now I don't know if I, do self tan, if this shade is too light, but I'll let you know if it oxidizes. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and then I'll come back again and we'll see how it does for the day. Okay, so I have the rest of my makeup done and I have some updates already. It's some things I've noticed just as I've been walking around and washing my hands and getting a glimpse of myself in other mirrors. It is, I would say, definitely medium to full coverage, more full than I initially thought. Like, I noticed, it's harder for me to do my makeup this way, so when I looked closer, not even that close, but in my bathroom mirror, I could tell like spots that I missed around my nose, my nostrils, like it really showed where the foundation was and where it wasn't, where something more sheer would be more forgiving. So you really want to blend it out well. I think it sits really pretty on the skin. I don't feel that weird filmy thing that I felt with some of the other foundations. I did not powder because I want to see how it lasts throughout the day without powder, though I am loving the new Hourglass powder, and typically would put it in my T-zone with the foundation that I'm using, but I am not doing that today. But I'm finding it a little too light and yellow, like almost like that causes it to like a little bit of a mask. Again, this is a more full coverage foundation, so I'm not trying to look super natural. I'm wondering if I use less and really shear it out and work it with a beauty blender, then I can probably get like a nice amount of coverage with very little product. So I'm not sure yet about the color. I have to see if it kind of melds in. That happens with a lot of foundations. It looks a little off and then like 30 minutes later it's fine. So let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, scary, huh? And more out. So you can see, I mean, my body is darker. That's just as many of us who are diligent about sunscreen on our faces. So yeah, I feel like if the color matched a little bit better, I would be like super happy right now, because it does make my skin look much smoother than it is. It's full coverage without looking like pancakey. I like it. I like it. I'm not having that I'm in love feeling, but I like it way more than I expected, and I really want the color to work. Hi there, I'm back with an evening check-in. Now, in the future, I will start my videos off, especially videos related to any kind of skin product like foundation or skincare, describing my skincare issues of the moment, etc. Because it's very important, I think, in regards to how a product's gonna work for me, and or if I like it, even if it does work for me, because I might just have a different preference. So I am 45 years old. I am working hard to maintain my skin health and improve it. I have been using harsher ingredients for about a month, and I admit I have laid off of it in the last week because I just have a hard time with retinols when my skin starts to peel a lot, even though I love the effect after the peel, and I started to worry about the sun and summer coming and use that as an excuse to stop. So right now my skin is kind of how it typically is in this chapter of my life, which is combination to dry. So I tend to get sometimes oily in the T-zone, but not much, not enough for me to really blot or powder, because I don't mind that glow. But yet drier, you know, everywhere else. Or normal. It might just be not dry or oily. So right now that's where my skin is at. I would say normal, combination to dry. Definitely not oily or necessarily acne prone. So this foundation is based on that. I'm not sure it's for me. It is a very good foundation, I think. I wish it was just a little bit more skin color. It's super yellow. I went back in and looked at the shades and I'm like, oh, there are a lot of shades that might be better. I saw one that was for light to medium skin with warm undertones, but then I started watching reviews and people said it was a lot darker than that, and also reading the reviews on the Sephora website. So I feel like that might be too dark for me. I almost feel like if my skin was a little bit more tan, this would be just like enhance it. So I also find that definitely it's long wearing. I think if you have normal to oily skin or oily skin and you like a full coverage, long lasting foundation, you're gonna love this. It's really, really pretty. On my normal parts, it's sitting really pretty. On some drier areas, I do see some breakup. I think that could be in part because I applied a little bit too much for my skin needs. What I'm saying is that I think this is a very good foundation if it matches your skin condition, you know, your type of skin and your needs. So for me, this is not like holy grail status, but it's not a bad foundation. I think it's a really good foundation. What I am thinking to do, because I really don't like to return products, and I'm thinking this could be something that I would end up using, is on days when I want that kind of tinted moisturizer look, but I want it to last, because a lot of tinted moisturizers are really pretty on the skin and flattering, but they don't last. I'm thinking I can kind of make one with this. I can use a tiny bit, since it is so full coverage, with a nice moisturizer, primer, and see how that works. I also think it will be good to blend in with some of my dewier foundations for a little oomph of lasting power, and a kind of just to bring in a little bit more of a matte look, or to lighten up some of my darker foundations that are just a little bit too dark. Is that madness? Probably. I mean, I don't recommend everybody go out and buy this if you have my skin issues and or the look that you like, which I tend to like a more dewy, glowy look because I'm trying to look younger. I don't think that you would love this foundation, but since I have it and it's really good, I want to play with it more. I think it could be a great addition to an arsenal of someone who is like me, who likes to have an array of foundations to create that perfect foundation day by day. So I've been wearing this foundation for about 7 hours. I would have liked to have worn it a little bit longer, but I haven't noticed any significant change in the last few hours, so I'm pretty sure it would remain this way for a few more hours, and I think it's a great foundation. Let me know what you think, if you can tell any difference between the, did it oxidize, did it settle into my skin a little bit better than it was in the beginning? Do you think I should keep it? I am cautious of returns. I don't abuse the system, so if I do return it, I think that's okay. But if I can use it, or if you guys, just let me know what you think. There's so many foundations to try. And what is your favorite foundation? Why don't you comment below? I would love that. Let me know what your favorite current foundation is, or your favorite foundation of all time. And then maybe I will be able to check some of those out and do reviews on them as well. And finally, I'm gonna ask if you would please subscribe to my channel. Also, the little reminder bell, if you could click on that, that way you'll know that I have a new video up. And my understanding is that sometimes, even if you are subscribed to a person, it may not show up in your feed unless you click that bell. Makes no sense, but it's some kind of a test. And let's just pass that test. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you very soon.